Hey, Gary, you goofy guy, you big goof, how you doing? Oh, jeez, all right. Okay, that's right. Hey, Gary, happy 65th birthday. Wow. When I was in your classes, pretty much everyone over 30, which was like everyone except Chris Smith. Pretty much everyone over 30 was in the same age bracket. So to me, you haven't changed at all. Um, it's been tough not making this video completely goofy like it just was. But I really wanted to try it and do it the Gary way, which is to just say how I feel, and of course to start with my childhood. So when I was a kid, I sorry, when I was 7 years old, I remember watching Whose Line Is It Anyway on TV, and I was like curled up in the that crouched sitting position, and I remember just thinking that is all I want to do. That's what I want to do. And then several years later, in middle school, my dad took me to see my first Precipice show, and I remember thinking that is what I want to do. So I basically became Precipice's groupie, as I'm sure you remember, and I saw their shows for years and years and years and years. Um, and at some point, my dad came to me and he said, "Hey, Gary Jacobs, the director of Precipice, is thinking about doing classes." And I was like, "What? The guy who whispers sweet improv nothings into Precipice's ear wants to be our director or our teacher?" And I was excited out of my mind. Um, Gary, the times I've had in your basement have been some of the best theater training I've ever had. Even more so than 4 years at theater school, than time spent in a city specifically studying improv and performing improv. Your classes have been some of the most profound, game-changing work that I've ever done, and that have really stuck with me through the years. Um, in your basement, you created this safe, artistic, expressive space where a goofy high schooler could be friends with a bunch of 30-something-year-olds. And even when people were joining and leaving over the years, it never felt like our whole group was restarting. It always felt like we were just constantly learning new things, challenging ourselves in new ways, and going back to old habits and breaking those. Uh, Gary's direction is like a superheated knife through butter. Um, he could just say something and get right to the core of the problem. Sometimes multiple ways of attacking a scene. So it was like a hot fork through butter, because then it's like all the prongs just seeping their way through the buttery flesh and melting and incinerating old things, and then you realize that the fork is just pressing into the butter and melting the whole stick, and then you're falling apart into just a boiling puddle of lard, and when you're that puddle of lard, you're just like, "Oh God, why am I lard? Oh, it hurts!" But you start to cool down. And as you cool, you realize that you're a lot more malleable, and you can do a lot more things now. And this is about as perfect a metaphor as I could come up with for that. But no, really, Gary's work is deep in my bones. I've since gone to I live in Philadelphia now. I've been doing comedy sports for the last year, which is pretty much the embodiment of the exact opposite of everything that Gary teaches. I'm being a little bit facetious, because obviously there's elements of short form and long form in each other, but that's part of what I wanted to say. Your long form teaching has made short form easier for me and deeper and more satisfying for me on just a base level. Um, it's like it's like you taught me how to breathe better. Improv is such a big part of my life. It's something that I do every single week, multiple times. It's just the biggest part of my life right now, and it's easier and funner and better because of what you helped me work through when I was in high school. Um, so I really deeply want to thank you for that, and I really hope you have a wonderful birthday. I miss you guys so much. I really miss the whole Fling gang and all the Precipice people. I think about those classes all the time. Okay, well, I did it, and now as a personal reward, I'm gonna do this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Precipice. Happy birthday to you.